Hello, I'm David. Today we're embarking on an intriguing tour around the world, not for sightseeing but to navigate the maze of international travel visas. Our specific focus? The countries with the most challenging visa processes in 2024. We'll dissect the complexities, delve into the whys, and hopefully equip you with insights to make your travel planning a tad bit easier. So buckle up and prepare for an informative journey around the globe. Let's start our journey with countries that are relatively easy to get a visa for. We're talking about those nations that have opened their doors wide to the world, making travel a breeze. Places like Georgia, the Pearl of the Caucasus, or the Seychelles, a tropical paradise in the Indian Ocean where you can just step off the plane and start your adventure. One of the reasons these countries have easier visa processes is to promote tourism. Encouraging visitors to explore their landscapes, cultures, and cuisines helps to stimulate their economies. For example, in Fiji, another country with an easy visa process, tourism contributes to around 40% of their national income. Typically, the requirements for these countries are pretty straightforward. Often all you need is a passport that is valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned departure date. Some countries may also require proof of onward travel and enough funds to support your stay. But as always, it's crucial to check the specific requirements of each country before you pack your bags. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. While these countries may be easier to get into, our next set of countries are a bit more challenging, so buckle up because we're about to dive into those territories where getting a visa is not quite as easy breezy. Now we're moving into the territories that require a bit more paperwork and patience. In the realm of travel, some countries fall into the category of moderate difficulty when it comes to obtaining a visa. These are the places where you'll need to do a little more than just fill out a simple form and pay a fee. They require additional steps like providing detailed itineraries, proof of accommodation, or even letters of invitation. Let's start with Russia. The process for getting a visa to Russia is notoriously meticulous. You need to have an invitation from a Russian citizen or a hotel, and a detailed itinerary of your trip. Plus there's the added challenge of language barriers as most of the paperwork is in Russian. Then there's China. While the country has been working on simplifying its visa process, it's still not a walk in the park. For a tourist visa, you're required to provide evidence of your round-trip flight and hotel reservations for your entire stay, and if you're planning on visiting someone, you need a letter of invitation from them. Next we have India. The Indian visa process involves a detailed application form, proof of onward travel, and sometimes even a personal interview at the embassy or consulate. But the good news is, once you've jumped through all the hoops, you can get a visa that's valid for up to 10 years. Finally, there's Saudi Arabia. Historically, the kingdom has been quite restrictive with tourism, but it has recently opened up to international tourists. However, you still need to provide proof of accommodation, return tickets, and sometimes, a sponsorship from a Saudi resident or company. These countries' visa processes are more complex due to various reasons. National security, diplomatic relations, or simply bureaucratic red tape. But don't let these challenges deter you. Embrace them as part of the adventure. If you thought these were tough, wait until you hear about our next set of countries. We're now entering the zone of high-difficulty countries. These are not for the faint-hearted. As we continue our global exploration, we're heading into territories where getting a travel visa is not as easy as a walk in the park. These high-difficulty countries have stringent visa processes, making them a real challenge for even the most seasoned explorers. Let's dive in. First off, we have Saudi Arabia. The kingdom is known for its strict laws and regulations, and its visa process is no different. It's not as simple as filling out an online application and waiting for approval. You'll need a sponsor in the country, typically a business or individual, and a detailed itinerary. A single mistake in your application could mean a denial, so precision is key. Next, we venture to Russia. While the country's breathtaking landscapes and rich history are a draw for many, securing a visa can be a daunting task. Applicants are required to provide an invitation from a Russian citizen or a hotel reservation, along with a comprehensive application form and sometimes even an in-person interview. Moving on to Bhutan, a tiny Himalayan kingdom known for its stunning landscapes and unique culture. But to experience this, you'll need to navigate through a complex visa process. Travel here is highly regulated to preserve the country's environment and culture. As a tourist, you're required to book your trip through a Bhutanese tour operator, who will then apply for your visa. Then there's Iran, a country with a rich history and beautiful architecture that's worth exploring. However, It's one of the countries with a high difficulty visa process. You'll need an authorization code from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which can take weeks to obtain. And once you have it, you'll still need to submit a detailed application. These countries with their intricate visa processes may seem daunting, but they also offer experiences that are truly unique and rewarding. It's a testament to the old saying, nothing worth having comes easy. And now, for the grand finale, the most challenging countries to obtain a visa for in 2024. Brace yourself for the ultimate challenge, the hardest countries to get a visa for. We're now venturing into the territory of the most difficult countries to secure a visa for in 2024. This list comprises nations with the most stringent visa requirements and complex application processes. First up is North Korea. Visiting this nation is no easy feat. The application process is shrouded in mystery, and there's no guarantee of approval. The only surefire way to enter is through a guided tour, and even then the restrictions are many. The reasons for this difficulty? Well, it's a combination of political tensions, a tightly controlled society, and a desire to limit outside influences. Next on the list is Bhutan. This Himalayan kingdom is well known for its gross national happiness philosophy, yet obtaining a visa here is not so joyful. The Bhutanese government restricts tourism to preserve its unique culture and environment. So you must book your trip through a registered tour operator and pay a daily fee that covers all of your expenses in the country. Moving on, we have Turkmenistan. This Central Asian nation is notorious for its challenging visa process. Officially, you'll need an invitation from a Turkmen citizen or a registered travel agency. However, even with an invite, the application process is lengthy and rejections are common. The government's desire for control and the country's relative isolation contribute to these challenges. Last but not least is Eritrea, an East African country with a notoriously tough visa process. The reasons are political and stem from the country's history of conflict and isolation. Visas are rarely granted, and when they are, it's usually for specific purposes like business or family reunions. As you can see, getting a visa for these countries can be quite an adventure in itself. But remember, every journey starts with a single step, and perhaps the challenge is part of the allure. After all, nothing worthwhile ever comes easy. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've just taken. We've traveled through a spectrum of countries, each with its unique visa processes, from the easy breezy to the most difficult. It's been quite a whirlwind tour, hasn't it? We started off with the easy breezy countries where getting a visa is as simple as filling out an online form. We have countries like Barbados, Fiji, and Georgia, which welcome travelers with open arms and minimal bureaucratic red tape. Next, we ventured into the territory of moderate difficulty countries. These include nations like China and Russia, where the visa process may require a bit more paperwork and patience. But with some preparation and persistence, these visas are well within reach. We then moved on to high difficulty countries, where the visa process can be quite challenging. Countries like Iran and North Korea, where you might need a letter of invitation or a guided tour booking before even applying for a visa. And finally, we delved into the most difficult countries to get a travel visa for in 2024. Countries like Bhutan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkmenistan, where the process can be labyrinthine and time-consuming. These countries require a hefty dose of patience, meticulous planning, and perhaps even a bit of luck. But why is it important to know all this? Well, understanding the visa process of a country is crucial before you pack your bags and head off. It not only saves you from unexpected surprises but also allows you to plan your journey better. The more informed you are, the smoother your travel experience will be. So, whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or a novice explorer, the world is full of exciting destinations waiting to be discovered. And while the visa process may be a hurdle for some destinations, remember that it's just a small part of the larger, enriching experience of exploring new cultures and landscapes. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. I'm David, and I hope you found this information useful for your future travels. Safe journeys, everyone.